Joining us for the first time, don't forget to click on the like button and also to subscribe to our channel because I'll be bringing to you several videos on how to produce footwear and lots more. For those of you that are interested in joining, for those of you that are interested in learning how to make footwear for the beginners and you have little or no idea on how to go about this video is also for you. And for those of you that also have ideas and also want to have more knowledge on how from other craft makers also, you're also welcome to also welcome. This video is also for you. Now, for the beginners, I'll start by introducing what we call the working tools. Now, we have what we call the working tools and what we call the production tools. Now, the working tools are materials you use for working, while the production tools are those materials used for producing your footwear, your slippers, they are all working tools. Everything you see on this table are all used for what? They're all used for working. Now, first of all, I'll start by introducing the most important and vital materials in craft making, which is called the filing machine. Now the filing machine comes in different sizes. This one on this table right now is 8 inches. We also have the 6 inches. We have other inches also used for working the same purpose. Now the reason why I prefer using the 8 inches is because of the higher the inches, the higher the speed and everything. Now while using your filing machine, you don't place it on the table like this. The reason why it's on the table like this is because I'm actually making an introduction on the basics of footwear to those who are actually interested in going into one of these. Now we have what we call a bench, which will mount our filing machine. The bench enables us to be able to file our jobs. Now, for a person like me, I prefer working with one side of my filing machine while the other side is dormant. Now, for while filing, I make use of this particular area for both my smoothing and my rough edges. Some persons or some craft makers prefer to use these particular materials added to one side of their filing machine. Now, when this is added to one side of their filing machine, it gives them a very rough edge. They prefer to use one side for both their filing and for both their smoothing of their job. But I personally I prefer to use both one side. They all give the same result depending on how you use them. Now moving over to the next part, we have what we call our mallet. This mallet is used for hitting our job, whatever work you are making and you want a very light hitting surface, you make use of our mallet. This mallet has a rubber-like head and a wooden handle. The reason why we prefer to make use of our mallet in most aspects, like in hitting of our markers, is because the hammer has a very strong head, and while using to hit our marker, it can actually get your marker damaged. The hammer can be used for hitting just your heels or hitting your sole to your heel. You know, a sole is very very thick, so it requires a very heavy heavy hit on it. Now, while we're working the marker, we make use of what our mallet is very soft at the because it's made out of rubber. Now move on to the next aspect. Now we have what we call our last. Now this last comes in different sizes. We have both the size 38 and 39 on one foot. We have both the 40 and 41 on another foot. Same as the 42 and 43 and 44 and 45. Now one foot can be used in making two different sizes. Now we have the size 41 and size 40 and 41 can be used for making both foot of size 40 and size 41. Now moving over to the biggest one I have here, this is size 44 and 45. It can be used for making also foot of size 44 and 45. Now we have what we call the big 45. The big 45 can be used for making big foot like size 46, which is not actually here at the moment. Now move over to our next thing we'll be looking at our scissors. Now we have three type of scissors here. Now I will start with basically these two. We are aware that while buying our scissors from the market, they all come in sharp form. Now our advice is that once you get your scissors, now we have what we call the neural scissors and we have the one we use for cutting our macro. Most of these things might not look clear to you, but with time, from time to time, as you follow my video, you will get more clarity on how all those things are being done and the names I'm calling on how to perfect them and know what they mean. Now, I use this one for mostly cutting of my landing materials. Why? Because landing material requires a very sharp scissors while using it for cutting. Now I use this particular one for cutting just my sole and my marco. Now cutting of your sole and marco does not require a very sharp scissors, although it comes the scissors is being bought sharp, so with time to time it gets blunt, but even while it's blunt, it's also good and it works perfectly well in cutting of your marco and heels. Now for cutting for your marco and sole. Now for cutting of your heels, we make use of this item here. It's called a cutter. It comes with several blades. All you have to do is slot in your blade. All you have to do is just slot in your blade and you're ready to work. So from time to time I will be making more videos on how all these items are being applied in our day-to-day work. Now move on to the next item now. We call this our zigzag scissors. Looking at it very clearly, you find out that it has a zigzag kind of teeth or a zigzag edge. This for giving us a very special kind of design while cutting. Give us a very special kind of pattern and zigzag cut. It's also known as a special scissors. Now I have my lead pen. This is a pen used in writing on your landing, on your heels, on your sole, and on your marco. Unlike our normal pen, our normal bio ink pen, the difference between this and this because the difference between this and this is that our lead pen, once you are writing on a surface or on your landing, heels, marco, and the rest, it's easier to clean. Why? Because with the help of a kerosene, I can clean my lead pen, but why I'm using my normal ink pen to write, if I make mistake it is very difficult for me to clean. So basically we can use the two, but the lead pen is actually advisable to use in case of you make mistake. Now our normal ink pen can also be used for writing. Probably we are taking measurements in our shop or trying to take orders. You can use your normal ink pen in taking orders and doing all sorts of that. Now move over to our polish. Our polish and also our shoe shiner, they are very basic materials in craft making because we are aware that after working we definitely want to polish our shoe and the rest. Now these our polish are also used for what? For work. We use them to polish our shoe after work. We want to and after polishing we use this brush for shining of our shoe. We have seen something like that in several areas whereby people make use of polishing and brushing their shoes. Now move over to what we call the dye. Now this is a black dye. It's used for changing footwear from brown to black or from whatever color to black. We also have other dyes too, which can also be used for creating different type of dyeing color. Now we have our what we call our brush. Now our brush is used for what? Applying gum to the surface of our job or work we are doing. Now that it comes in different sizes. We have the bigger brush, we have the smaller brush and so on. Now they are both used for applying a specific amount of gum to the surface you are doing. Like if I'm working a job that requires me applying large amount of gum to a large area, applying gum to a large area, I can make use of the big gum, but whichever one you want is more preferable. The small one can also do the job of the big one. That depends on you. Now move over to what I call my lighter. Now you might be surprised what is a lighter doing in a workshop. A lighter can be used for applying heat to your lead pen. Once I apply heat to my lead pen, probably maybe I'm writing and my lead pen is not writing very properly. I just apply heat to it and I find out that it comes back to normal and then I can be able to write very well or draw my patterns with my lead pen. Now move over to my punch. This is what we call the punch and this is what we call the punch board. Most most of the shoes we put on, we find out that those crests we have on it, they are being made by what? The punch. Now we have the bigger punch and we have the smaller punch. Most of the punch are being done on what? On the punch board because the punch board has a very unique kind of thickness than our normal wood. So we do all our punches on what? On the punch board. Now I'll also be moving to what we call our nose. This nose is used for our super glue. We have what we call super glue. We have two types of super glue, but basically I'll just classify them as one. So This nut is being placed to our super glue. In order for us to apply our super glue to our work, it enables it to flow a little, unlike just applying it directly, just like that. So then another thing you have to know is that we have what we call our gum. We have the thick gum and the light gum. Now the thick gum is a kind of local gum. We use the thick gum for our landing. Whenever we're creating our landing, we make use of the thick gum. Then we also have the light gum, which is the foreign gum. It's used for the light gum is actually very stronger than the thick gum. So the light gum is used for we apply the light gum to our at the finishing area of our job, like we apply it to our marco, apply it also to our heels. When we are joining our heels and sole together, you know the heels and sole they are very thick something, so they require something that can glue them very well. So I think with that now, we'll move over to what we call the nails. We call them five-star blue shoes. They are also used for what? For nailing of shoes and slippers and the rest. They are very tiny, tiny nails that we use in the workshop. So if you find this video helpful, don't forget to click on the like button and subscribe to our channel because I'll be giving you more videos on how things are being done in the workshop, craft making, how to produce slippers, sandals, and the rest. So I think you really love what you'll be getting from this channel. So don't forget, if you find this video helpful, don't forget to give me a like, click on the like button, and also subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much for joining us. See you next time.